Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, and welcome to January 2023. That's right guys, all done with 2022, moving on to a brand new year, and what better way to start off a brand new year than with a monthly update video. One of those videos I do the first Monday of every month, guys. A whole new year with whole new opportunities, whole new possibilities. Guys, I've got some awesome news to share with you guys, but also some bad news to share with you guys. Y'all know how it is. And we will get to all of that. But before we do, you know what we got to do first. Let's do some shout outs. First of all, I would really appreciate it if you guys would consider supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there are a couple ways you can do it. First, if you watch one of my videos and an ad comes up, watch the ad all the way through. That gives me advertiser revenue, and I know it's annoying, but it does help me out, so consider doing that. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you would like to buy some merchandise for the channel, we have an awesome Teespring store with some really cool merchandise on it with art drawn by my friends Hannah and Jay, who we will talk about in a minute. Any purchase you make there goes directly to me and to them and allows us to continue doing what we love to do. Link for that will be in the description. And if you'd like to donate directly, you can become a patron over at Patreon. That link will be in the description as well. Even $1 a month helps me out. Doing that kind of stuff, guys, really allows me to make more time to make these videos and entertain you guys. I don't have to go to my day job as often, so please consider supporting the channel if you would. Thank you so much for that. And now, on to the shout outs. So I want to shout out two really close friends of mine. I shout them out in every monthly update video, but I really want to because I couldn't make this channel possible without these two. Their names are Hannah and Jay. Hannah is a really good friend of mine. We've been friends for years now. She's a fantastic artist, does amazing work. Some of her work will be scrolling across the screen now as I talk. She has been the one who's drawn all the little chibi images that you see of me. She draws me as a girl most often, a girl that we call Claire. And that's mostly because Hannah likes to draw me as a chick because she's better at drawing women, for one thing. And she also does it kind of as a joke between us. And you know what? It's all in good fun. So a lot of the art that you see in the Teespring store is her work as well. But she doesn't just do that. She does some awesome character designs. She's very good at designing outfits and attire and looks. She's actually really good at designing weapons and stuff like that, which she says she isn't, but that's a lie. She's actually really good at it. If you want to see more of her work, she has an Instagram. That link will be in the description below. Go check her out. Go give her some love. I don't know if she's doing commissions right now, but if she is, you can ask her, and I'm sure she'll give you all the details. Thank you so much, Hannah, for all you do. And then there is Jay. Jay, also known as the artist Jay, is a really awesome friend of mine. We haven't known each other as long as I've known Hannah, but despite that, he has done so much to help me out. I see him as a spiritual accountability partner. He's a very strong Christian. We talk about godly stuff all the time, and I'm very proud to know him. He and I have done a lot of projects together, including Nomad, Troy and Frost, and a few others that will be coming later on that we'll talk about. He is actually a professional comic artist. He has drawn comics and graphic novels that have been published, and he's drawn images for books. He's the one who's drawn all the Troy and Frost and Nomad images that I've shown. He's also the one who designed the Raven Lord image that you guys have seen in my response videos and the like, so you can thank him for that. He is just an outstanding artist, but an even better friend. I am really grateful to Jay. He too has an Instagram account. That will be linked in the description. If you want to commission him, I know he has commissions open. Go talk to him. He can discuss prices with you. Jay, really appreciate what you do. And Hannah, you too. Hannah, Jay, both of you are an integral part of how this channel runs. You helped me get out there. You're very supportive of me. Thank you both so much for helping me make this channel possible. And you guys, go give them some love. All right. Shout outs out of the way. Shill out of the way. Let's get into the update. So first of all, personal stuff. I want to thank everyone who watched my retrospective video. Actually, crazy thing, Havoc himself dropped in and left a comment. Havoc, if you're watching this, thank you, man. Know that I'm a huge fan of your work. But everyone who watched, thank you so much. If you haven't seen it yet, please watch it for a brief overview of the previous year and what's happening next year. I talk a lot about how this channel has changed over the course of 2022 and what you can expect in 2023. This video won't be exactly like that because I'm mostly focusing on what I'm going to do in January. But if you want to hear an overall aspect or overview of the year, check that out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. There's something else that I want to do. I want to clear the air real quick. I want to talk about this. I talked about this in my retrospective video, but I want to be clear. My faith is very important to me, but I want to clear the air. I'm not trying to force my faith on anyone. I think some people get the wrong idea about what I do when I talk about my belief in God. I'm not trying to force my faith on you. If you don't believe and don't have any interest, That's fine. I respect that. I'm not here to make you believe anything. I'm always open to answering questions. I'm always open to talking about it with other people who want to discuss it. But if you're not interested, I completely understand. Just know that it is a part of who I am and what I believe, so I will occasionally bring it up in videos. If it gets to be too much, I'll try to curb it a bit, but I still think that it's important that y'all know who I am and what I believe, right? So another thing that came up was people talk about, if I talk about faith all the time, how come I don't talk about politics? And I want to clear the air about that too. Because with my recent response videos, politics have been coming up a lot recently, and I want to explain why I don't like talking politics. Politics to me are divisive, and it's too easy to divide and judge others merely for who they vote for or what they believe in terms of how a government should run. I, of course, do have political opinions, and I'm willing to bet, if you've listened to any of my videos, you can probably guess where I fall in that regard. But I don't hate others for having different political ideals. I think it's important to hate the policy, not the person who likes it. You know, I think that's an important thing we need to hold on to. The problem is most people can't make that differentiation. So if I say I support or don't support blank, someone is going to say, oh, well, you're hateful, a Nazi, or what have you, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to start that. It is very easy for me to talk about my faith in videos because that's a part of my belief system. It is taught to Christians to talk about our faith. It is not a part of my belief system to yammer on about politics all the time. I leave that to people who make money doing that or who enjoy that more than me. Let them handle that. I'm here to talk about history, story writing, game design, and my faith. That's kind of where I set the bar. So if y'all have any problems with that, know that that's where I stand. I hope I cleared the air on that. All right, so leaving that behind, a couple things. I did talk about this more in my retrospective, but I'll say it again. I am kind of veering away from the education field to pursue missionary work, which is part of why I've been talking about my faith so much. I've been substitute teaching for a time, which has been my day job, but I don't really enjoy it that much, and I've started to realize that even though I enjoy teaching, I mean, heck, I teach you guys on YouTube, right? That's kind of a form of teaching. I don't like the education system right now, the education department. That's kind of been an iffy thing for me. So I'm pursuing new avenues, pursuing new ideas, and hopefully going to be able to make more financial income that way. Now, of course, I love the financial income that I make via YouTube. It's just not enough to pursue what I want to do. So it is important that I have another form of financial income that I can use. So there's going to be some changes to the channel in that regard. I'm going to be pursuing different jobs, which may change my availability, which may change when I do certain things and when I work on certain stuff. I don't know all the details yet, but that is what is going to be changing. So with that all out of the way, the last thing that I want to say personally is Christmas and birthday. My Christmas and my birthday both come very close. My birthday is December 29th. Christmas is only 4 days before that. So sometimes they're not always the happiest time of the year because it's hard for me to get together with friends and family when those two holidays are so close together. And sometimes that can be very awkward and a little difficult. But I've got to say, this Christmas and birthday were very enjoyable. I've turned 30 this year. I'm very pleased about that. I'm very pleased with how things went. And I want to thank you guys because y'all wished me very well wishes for Christmas and for my birthday. Y'all made that a lot of fun. Thank you so much for making my 30th birthday a very special one. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's finally talk about what's coming to the channel. What can we expect in January? Well, one of the first things that you can expect is a reward for what y'all did last month. Last month, I made a challenge. I said, let's try to get to 27.2 thousand subscribers before the end of December. Not only did we make that, we overshot it. We actually got to 27.3 thousand. So thank you guys so much for helping me meet that goal. And as a reward, we're going to do a Q&A session, but you're going to get to see my face. We're actually going to do a face showing for this Q&A video. So here's how it's going to work. It's not going to be a live stream. The only reason why it's not going to be a live stream is because with new work and new jobs, like I said before, there's no way of knowing how available I will be. So it will have to be a time when I can sit down and really focus on the questions. Plus, whenever I do a live stream, more and more questions flow into chat and I can't read all of them and answer them all as best I can. So it's just going to be a video, but you will still get to see my face. Now, here's how it's going to work. As of right now, there should be a post out on YouTube where I am letting you know about the Q&A video. Underneath that, leave a comment with your question, and I will save all the questions, and on the day that I make the video, I will read through all the questions under that post and answer them. I will not take any questions on the Discord because I want this open to everyone on YouTube, including the ones who aren't on my Discord. Also, you will be allowed to ask Lark some questions. If Lark is up to it, I would be happy to have him in the video too, where he can answer some questions. Here's how you do it. Before you write the question, say to Raven if you want me to answer it, or to Lark if you want Lark to answer it. That way we know whose question is whose. Here are the rules to how to ask questions. Please, no inappropriate questions, nothing that would get us in trouble on YouTube. Any insults to us will be ignored or deleted. I know that there are some of you who will probably want to ask insulting questions. I'm just going to ignore them. Try not to repeat any questions if you can. I know that's tricky, but if you could, try to read through other people's questions if there are others and see that you can avoid any repeat questions, just because if I see a repeat, I'm just not going to answer it twice. There's no point in that. And finally, no requests to do things in the video. Like if you say, please stand on your head in the video, I'm not going to do that. Please like do a back handspring. Please have a thumb war. We're not going to do that. Please, no requests, just questions, okay? Because we just don't have time or the space or the ability to do everything that we're asked to. So those are the rules. I really look forward to making this video. We'll probably give y'all a week to put in your questions, and then we will release the video, okay? Awesome. So now on to the stuff that y'all, you really care about, what you're really excited about, For Honor. Okay, so here's what's coming to For Honor. First of all, I'm going to be doing the Might of Misery story reading. Just like all the other lore videos, I'm going to read the story itself. I'm going to read out the story, all the parts. And then in another video, I'm going to analyze it. I'm going to basically break down my thoughts on the story, whether or not I think it's good, how much does it hold up, whether it's good narratively, lore-wise, talk about Commander Ravier herself. We're going to talk about the Might of Misery and Commander Ravier. I'm very excited for that. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about the new hero. I don't know anything about the new hero. I'm not Ubisoft. I don't know anything that they have done. And Ubisoft, I don't think they like me very much, so I don't think they're going to tell me. My assumption right now is that the new hero is going to be female. I think they're going to be Arabic or Persian in origin. I lean more on Arabic, not because I don't think a Persian hero would be cool, but because I don't think Ubisoft has the integrity to know the difference between Persian and Arabic, really. My guess is that they're either going to use a shield and sword combination of some kind, or they're going to use Qatar punch daggers, because I've seen some pretty cool images that say that she could be holding one of those. That would be an interesting choice for a Persian or Arabic hero, considering that's an Indian weapon. But you know what? I'm always happy to be surprised, but I do think it will be female, because if they follow the same pattern where they release a male hero and a female hero in the same For Honor year, we've already got our male hero in the Magi, probably going to be a female hero this time. I don't mind. I'm excited to see what comes. Now, as for Year 7, everyone's wondering, will there be a Year 7? I assume there will be. I have a pretty good feeling there's going to be. I don't know if there will be new heroes. I just don't know. I prefer maps, personally. I was actually asked in Discord the other day, do you want to have a new hero that's one that you really, really want to see, or would you prefer a map? I said, I prefer a hero that I really want to see, only if the alternative isn't 4 maps. I'd like 4 maps this coming year. I'd like 4 new Dominion maps or a new Breach map or something like that. I really just want to see the world of For Honor expand, not necessarily the characters, you know what I mean? Alright, so aside from that, what else? For Honor and Glory, I know how the story's going to end. I know what I want to do with it. I've planned it all out. I'm like, yes, let's do this. Let's do For Honor and Glory. I'm going to get out at least 1 chapter this month, hopefully 2. As for the Legend series, I have put that off too long. I've just had too much going on, but I'm going to try to get Ingrid the Valkyrie done. That's the one I've been advertising for a while. Now, other than Ingrid, I've also got 2 others lined up. Matsunaga Ryo, which is my Kinsei, and Ethan Sterling, which is my Griffin. And I know, how can you have an original Griffin? Aren't all Griffins the same? Look, I know, but I think that's stupid, and I refuse to adhere to it. We're going to assume that there's a whole order of Griffins that maybe Holden Cross started. Come on, let's get creative here. I don't like the idea that all Griffins are just the same person. It won't make sense when you're on a Dominion match and you're playing a Griffin, but someone else on the other team is playing a Griffin. How does that work? I've made my own Griffin, so let's go with that. All right. Next, the How to Build series. Y'all have seemed to like that, and I've enjoyed making it, so I'll keep doing it. I haven't decided who I'll do next. Maybe y'all can let me know in the comments. Who would you like me to see me do next for the How to Build series? I'm very interested. All right, so here's a very serious question. Last thing about For Honor, and then we'll move on. I have been asked more than a few times why I have not done a Magi analysis video. Because usually what I would do is I'd do an analysis video on a hero, and then do a Heroes in History on a hero. Okay, why haven't I done an analysis video? There are a couple reasons why. First of all, it's because of what I do in an analysis video doesn't seem necessary anymore. And also because I started the analysis series very early in my YouTube career, so they weren't very good. And I'm not sure people would enjoy seeing me do more of those. Let's think about it. What do I do in my analysis videos? I basically tell you the historical context of the hero. I share with you the cosmetics that I use for them. I then show you how to play them and tell you my advice for how to play them. And then I analyze their executions. But let's be real, guys. The historical context, I cover that in my Heroes in History series. The cosmetics, I'm doing that now in my How to Build series. The executions, I now have an Executions Graded series, which I'm going to get back to. Don't worry, I just need a slight break from it. And then, as for how to play them, doesn't Marco Yolo and a lot of other content creators do a much better job of that? Like Freeze, Marco, John DeLiner, don't they do a better job of that than I do? I don't know. If y'all want me to do an analysis video on Magi, I will do it. Let me know in the comments section to let me know that's something you'd like to see me do, and I will gladly do it. So just let me know. And as for the Executions Graded video series, I am doing them. I'm working on it. Shaman is the last assassin to do, and I'm very excited to get her done. But I just need some time to get to her, mostly because the Executions Graded videos come with a slight problem. Every time I do one, I get a lot of commenters wanting to let me know how wrong I am. And so sometimes it can become a bit much. So there has to be a moment where I go, you know what, I'm taking a step back. I'm taking a step back from that. So that's why, don't worry, I will probably have Shamans out sometime this month. I just don't know when yet. All right, so done with For Honor, on to the next topic, Dead by Daylight. I put off the Knights video for a while because I had a lot of other things going on, but I do want to do the Knights video because, hey, Knights are kind of my thing. So I will be doing the Knights analysis video soon. I got a lot to say about them, trust me, both historically and narratively. Ooh, my goodness, there's a lot to talk about. I don't know if it'll come out this month. I hope it will, but I've got a lot of other things planned for this month, so I just don't know. I'd still also like to see the Mother become a killer. If you don't know what that's about, I proposed a hypothetical killer idea for Dead by Daylight called the Mother. I made her whole lore and her whole abilities and everything. Check that out if you haven't. It was a fun video to make. And then I've been thinking about doing this video for a while. I have heard people say forever that For Honor is the most toxic game they've ever played, but have you not played Dead by Daylight? And so I may make a short video talking about, is Dead by Daylight more toxic than For Honor or not as toxic? Because I feel like there's a very big difference, but I don't know. That's still something that I'm kind of laboring under. Not a lot is going to happen with Dead by Daylight this month. Dead by Daylight's more something that I deal with when I can, except in October, when I dedicate the month to it, you know? I like Dead by Daylight, but it's not my favorite game ever. It just gives me another outlet to talk about narrative. So there is that. All right, enough about Dead by Daylight. Next up, a little bit of a surprise, guys. One Piece Odyssey. For those of you who know me, you know that I'm a huge One Piece fan. So now that there's a new game coming out called One Piece Odyssey, it's set to come out the 13th of this month. You can expect a stream or at least a video where I play that game and I use it to talk about One Piece. Because, hey, guys, why couldn't I? One Piece is a fantastic series. I've loved it ever since it started. I've loved it ever since I started watching it. It's great, and I'm glad that there's a video game coming out that looks very entertaining. I don't know what I'll do with it necessarily. I doubt it'll become a long-running series, but it could be a way for me to talk a little bit about why I like that anime so much. All right, on to the next thing. Rainbow Six cringe/win. I promise, guys, I'm going to do a real Rainbow Six win video soon. Who should I talk about when I do it, by the way? Maybe Dokkaebi? Because she is my favorite. She's my main. Maybe Thatcher? He's a good one. What about Hibana? She's pretty good. I like her. Maybe Lion? He's neat. I could do a lot of stuff. Just let me know in the comments. Tell me what you'd think. Also, I've had a request to talk about my own original operator ideas. After all, if I can come up with an original Dead by Daylight killer, I can come up with an original operator, right? Well, the answer to that is, yes, I have come up with one, and I'd be happy to make a video about it, but that's only if you want to hear it. Let me know down in the description below, and I will gladly share what I know. All right, so done with that, done with the gaming aspect of things. It's time to talk about writing, narrative, and story sharing. Raven's writing room, sadly, is on a slight hiatus. I need time to think of new content for that, because as I was looking over some of the old videos, I realized I was getting a little repetitive. I need to come up with some new content that won't be as repetitive. So, just wait on that one a little while, and we'll come up with some new content for Raven's Writing Room. Journey to the West. I had said that I would be reading that and analyzing each chapter, but I've run into a problem. I am not entirely sure how I want to do the analysis portion. I mean, reading it isn't a problem. I can read it. I've got the book. But analyzing it and maintaining the attention of the audience might be a bit tricky. Plus, I am still a student of Chinese philosophy, literature, mythology, and stuff like that. So I'm having to learn it as I go too. I'm learning new things as I read through it. I'm worried that if I were to start doing this, it may become too overwhelming for me and my audience. I need to think about that. So I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm saying I need to think about this carefully. If I have to backpedal out of that one, I am really sorry. I know that I said I would do that, and I know y'all seem pretty excited for it. Let me think about it a bit more before I go on that. Okay, guys? All right. Now, a couple other things. Story sharing. Do y'all still enjoy that? Story sharing is something that I do most Mondays, where I get to tell you guys about a book that I have written or am writing, or a story idea that I had. Do y'all still enjoy that? It doesn't get a whole lot of views, but I enjoy making them. They're nice little weekly videos that I can make. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy those series. I enjoy making them. Also, the Ravenlord lore. I know that I made a few videos about the Ravenlord and their lore. Let me know if you enjoyed that, and if you'd like me to make more content about what kind of lore we can make for the Ravenlord. I've still got ideas, and Jay and Hannah are more than a little invested, so let me know what you'd think. As for reading my stories, Revenant King, I'm going to be continuing that. I also am going to be continuing Troy and Frost. I've got a plan for the next few chapters, so I'll be writing that out. And I am also going to be working on Death Diary a bit more. I want to try to get another Death Diary entry out this month. There's also other stories that I'd like to share with you guys, such as Nomad, which I'm almost done with. I've only got 2 more chapters to write in that story, and then it's done, and then maybe Jay and I can get it published. But if you'd like to hear more about Nomad, I'd love to share that with you. And also Wraith Riders. Wraith Riders is a story that my brother Lark, also Hannah and Jay, have both offered up ideas and support for. So if you guys would like to hear me read some of that, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. There's no art for it yet. Jay, Hannah, we need to talk. But hey, if you'd like to hear more about that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to share it. There's a lot that I like to do in terms of writing and story sharing, and some of it I just can't do on YouTube. If you'd like to read some of my stories, I do have 2 DeviantArt accounts that you can go check out, and I can link those in the description as well if you would like. So, that's what we've got to say on writing and story sharing. Let's move on. All right. Response videos. I do need to talk about this briefly. First of all, extra credits. Released a video not long ago on Animal Farm about that. I watched the video. Normally, Extra Credits does a pretty piss poor job with this kind of stuff, and here it's a little complicated. On the one hand, they covered Animal Farm fine. They discussed the story itself just fine, but they were clearly biased. There were clear moments in the video where they dropped some very biased, very prejudicial info and little hints at their own political slander. On the one hand, it's not enough to do a full response video, but on the other hand, I'd also hate to let that slide. One thing Lark and I were talking about doing is maybe doing a brief live stream where we just go over it live with you guys so you can get an idea of what we're looking at rather than do a full constructed video. If you'd like to see that, we need to know. Let us know in the comments section so that we know that we can do that. If not, we'll just ignore it. Chalk it up to fine Extra Credits. We'll let this one slide and move on. Just let us know. And the last thing about the response videos is, do y'all like me raging and ranting? I ask because I've been told that it's annoying. There have been some people who say, Raven, you're clearly an intelligent person, but you rant too much. If you didn't rant and show your hate all the time, you might be more tolerable. Do y'all think that that's a real problem? Because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the ranting, rambling raver, you know? I don't want to do that. I want to be concise, I want to be intellectual, I want to be fair, I don't want to rage, right? So, let me know if you think that's a problem. Okay, almost done, guys. 2 more things, and then I'll let you go. First of all, I want to say my biggest concern with the channel thus far. I mentioned this in the retrospective, but I'll say it again. I fear getting too lost in my own storm of ideas that I lose track of myself and get nothing done. I come up with tons of ideas, tons of video suggestions, tons of stuff. I'm always getting new ideas. And the real burden I have is when I start a new idea, it can distract me from doing stuff that I've already started. You want to know why some of my stuff takes so long to get done? Because I get new ideas so often and I want to do them. It's a curse, guys. It's a curse. So if you guys ever just in the comment section let me know, hey, Raven, I really enjoy this series. I'm not as fond of this series. And just let me why. Just let me know why in a polite way. I promise I won't be offended. Just let me know so that I know what stuff to really focus on and what stuff I might need to leave aside for a while. So just let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys enjoy the most from this channel so I know what to focus on. Because some of you say, I come for your For Honor stuff and only your For Honor stuff. But other folks say, I don't really care for the For Honor stuff. I like your writing stuff. Just let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. All right, well, before we go, it's time to do the jingle.
I've seen unspeakable horrors, and I know pain. It's time for the question of the day.
Yes, guys, it's that time again. It's time for the question of the day. Now, this is an older question. I got it about a month or so ago, but I didn't really get the chance to answer it. So, let's do it. Raven. Oh, that's me. Why do you think the current Western entertainment media is floundering in terms of its movies, TV shows, streaming services, and gaming industry, while such mediums such as anime and manga seem to be doing so well? That is an excellent question. I'd love to answer that. I believe that a large part of that is due to priorities being shifted. Back in the day, media like Disney and all that were made with the purposes of entertaining the audience. You make a movie because you want to entertain the family or the children or the moviegoers or the critics. You make a game because you want to create an enjoyable experience. You write a comic book because you want to tell a story in a graphical format that people will enjoy. That was the intention, that was the priority. But since then, the priorities have clearly shifted. I feel like the Hollywood elite, the entertainment media conglomerates, they don't do what they do because they want to entertain the masses. They don't do it because they want to entertain the audience. They take what they think people will enjoy. That's why they buy a lot of franchises, why Disney bought Marvel, bought Star Wars, bought Lucasfilms, bought The Simpsons, bought all these things. They got their hands in the pot and said, we've got all this stuff we know has an audience. And we're going to shift it, though, not for the audience's sake, but for our staff's sake, for the employees' sake, for our focus board's sake. What they did is they said, look, I'll give you an example. Right now, I feel like a lot of companies, like Disney, for example, are pretty much out of ideas. They don't have any ideas. So what they do is they say, well, what did people enjoy in the past? Well, they liked our Disney animated movies. Let's take all those, because they have an audience, and do them now live action, because that's more mature. That can appeal to an adult audience. Adults don't like animated movies, isn't that right? Ignore the fact that a lot of adults love animated movies, but the focus groups, they're like, no, you're right. Live action is a lot better. All right, so now we need to update this for a modern audience. And if you guys want to know more about why modern audience idealism is stupid, watch The Critical Drinker. He does a good job explaining it. The modern audience idea is essentially this idea that the current worldview, the current audience needs updated material. Timelessness is outdated. We need to be dated now, like we need to be the current year. We need to be dated. That means we need to have the right amount of diversity quotas, the right amount of political messaging, the right amount of virtue signaling, because I believe that it comes down to this. These people, and maybe I'm being a little bit presumptuous on this, but I'll say it anyway. I believe that a lot of these people are of the opinion that you are a bigot until you say otherwise. Why do I think that? Because virtue signaling essentially is taking a movie, shoving in diversity for the sake of diversity, and saying, look at the product I made. It is updated for a diverse and modern audience. I'm a virtuous person. And if you disagree, well, you're just not virtuous. You're evil and racist and bad. That's why people, before this new Little Mermaid movie has even come out, are saying, if you are a critic of this, you're racist. I haven't even seen that. You must be racist because there's a black woman playing Ariel. Therefore, if you don't like it, you're racist. So what people said about the Woman King. You don't like the Woman King? You must be racist and sexist because the lead actor is a black woman. Therefore, you must hate her. No, the movie was just of terrible quality. No, we're virtuous, remember. Because of the way we made our movie, you must be a hater. because we were the virtuous one in designing the movie. So that's their mentality. Their priority has changed. They no longer want to entertain the audience with good storytelling, engaging characters, or really cool effects and ideas. No, they want to say, we're the virtuous ones. If you disagree, you are not virtuous like we are. This way, it allows them to appeal to the people who support their ideals, while also making a shield against those who would dare criticize, even if the criticisms are 100% valid. The shield says, doesn't matter. If you criticize and don't like, you're wrong. Not like that's one of the problems with the Star Wars sequels when they came out. When the Star Wars sequels came out, a lot of people said these are terrible movies. No, you're sexist. Why? Because Rey's the main character and she's a woman. Well, she's a Mary Sue. Mary Sue's a very gendered word. It's very sexist. What? You know what I mean? I feel like that priority has changed tremendously. Now, if you look at the anime and manga industry, I'm not going to say that all anime and manga is good. Some of it's not. But I have found that a lot of anime and manga maintains the desire to appeal to the audience. In fact, Lark and I were talking just the other day about this. We talked about isekai anime, which is an anime genre where it's very much a power fantasy or fantasy advocacy for young men who get, or young men and women who get teleported or reincarnated into a fantasy world, and they're somehow the best at everything they do. They become the Gary and Mary Stews of anime. But the difference is they were done with a purpose. They were done with the purpose of being a wish fulfillment fantasy for the reader or watcher, because they're like, yeah, I identify with that. I too am a geeky gamer, and I too wish that I could be reincarnated into a fantasy world where I'm great at everything and girls just fall all over me. That is a fantasy that a lot of young boys would have. So they are still trying to appeal to an audience, which is why, even though I would argue that a lot of these anime are crappy, at least I understand why they do it and why they get such a consistent, devoted audience, because they still made this with the audience in mind. They didn't make it saying, I'm going to be as virtuous as I possibly can. They made it with, I want to entertain people. That's where the difference falls in. And I know that I ranted there a little bit, and I apologize for that. I know you guys want to go, and I don't blame you if you're already bugged out. But my point being, in answer to the question of why Western entertainment media is floundering while anime and manga is doing so well, it's simple. Because the Western entertainment media forgot what it meant to entertain people. They think it's more important that they validate that they are good people. Whereas the anime and manga industry says, doesn't matter if you think we're good people. We're here to entertain you and let you have a good time. Now, does all anime and manga do this? No. Some of it is just literal porn. Some of it is just stupid trash. Some of it just isn't entertaining at all. And does that mean all Western entertainment media is bad? Nope. Some games that are coming out, I'm very excited for. Some stuff that is created in Hollywood and TV is actually really good. I'm very excited to see some stuff. So I don't think it's all bad. I don't think that's a general. I'm just speaking in a, not general sense, I'd say, but more often than not sense. With all that out of the way, guys, that about wraps up this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Again, I can't stress enough, please check out Hannah and Jay's stuff. Their Instagram links are in the description. And if you do feel like supporting the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment down below, and feel free to support by going to Teespring or Patreon. All of the links are in the description below. I'm exhausted. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Happy New Year, you guys. Take care.
Your drone has found a bomb. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Hello?